I best start. I'm so comfortable. I'm like lying down.
Yeah.
So welcome to another episode of Finally on the Record here at the Nerds Are Us channel. I don't know why I've gone into a newsreader voice. Joining us here tonight,
I'm Amy.
Joining us here is our founding nerd, Foxy, and our nerd in training, Putter. What's up, dude?
Hello, nerd in training. I just imagine fucking Foxy as my little Yoda on my back, just as I fucking go through various challenges.
If you abbreviate, he's a little nit.
I've noticed this. We have taken the original nerds have actually taken on mentoring roles, if you haven't actually noticed. So Foxy and you are very kind of, it's easy to kind of lump you two together. You actually do a fair bit of stuff together, recordings wise.
we do a lot of stuff together. Like, we do too much stuff together, to be honest. Like,
don't be giving me ideas for what Finally on the Record could be. But I've noticed, yeah, because I've kind of taken with Kira. It's like every time we're doing, I'm always kind of with Kira, and then Jonathan and Jerry. We've literally become big brothers / sisters. The mentors have become the mentees. Oh God! But yeah, so what we're going to be doing on Finally on the Record. So because I won our first episode, which was nostalgia, I get to pick the topic that we're going to be doing for tonight's show.
And for complete clarity, honestly, we do not, at least I don't. I don't know if Amy told you, but we have no idea what the topic is. So.
No clue. No clue.
That makes 3 of us.
She's just winging it. That's it. She's just winging it.
That's all I do. I am literally the master
of
the wing. I am the master of winging at this point here. So, because...
All right, Bob Backlund, calm down.
Actually, I've got my fucking RPG and everything is a fucking chicken wing.
Chicken wing!
Because we're the masters of winging it. And I'm actually thinking that's a perfect Finally off the record, because I can imagine that 2 of you have been in situations where you've had to wing it. You work in the wrestling industry. So let's look at it this way. A good example. Okay, I'll give you an example of a situation where I had to wing it. A family member passed away, and we were quite upset over the situation, as you would be. We actually liked this family member, and it was the night before the funeral, and we had all had a couple of drinks. We were all on our merry way to Amy being drunk, and then that's when it was. This is like 9:30 at night. The mass is at 10 o'clock, and I was told, "Oh, you're doing the eulogy. You know that, right?"
Oh no.
So my story of winging it was when we are at the church. I was severely hungover, and this was before I ended up being celiac and stuff like that. So I'd been drinking beer, and Amy hungover on beer was never a good thing, because my beer hangovers hit me hard, and we were literally standing in oh my God, what's the name of the church? Corpus Christi Church in Drumcondra. And I was at the top of the altar, and I just kind of went, it's a big turnout. I didn't realize this many people liked Margaret. And and that was the point where it was either whichever way kind of, if people kind of went, ooh, I knew it was going to be bad, but thank fuck I had my brother in the audience, and he went, "Pat." And then I was like, oh, thank God. Okay. So that nervous laugh set it off. And then it literally was just me shy talking for nearly a solid 15 minutes. And then at the end of it, I went and I sat back down, and my dad just went, "What did you just say?" And I went, "I have no idea." And he goes, "Neither does anybody in this church, and Margaret wouldn't have had it any other way." And that was it. And we left. I was like, oh. But that was a moment where I was like, damn, I need to like stop drinking and be more prepared. But now, well, to my defense, I was only told 11, 12, 13 hours beforehand that I was doing it.
I don't know why. I just get the mental image of, now you're after saying that you waffled on. Imagine if it you're that hungover that you actually spoke in gibberish,
I burped.
and people are just like, she literally just like spoke gibberish for like 15 minutes, and you
It's
thought that you, oh yeah, I said stuff like, didn't proper
I
like.
I can't. A couple of stories spring to mind for me, and I have one where I wish I spoke gibberish in it. Definitely. So I
Let's
don't
hear
know.
the story, Dennis.
Right. So this
I
is
should-
actually way
I should
before.
preface this though, like Amy can award points and take
Oh
them
yeah,
away.
there's a
Oh,
pointing
yeah, yeah.
system.
That's fine. I'm just gonna go with the flow here. I'm gonna wing it. Hey,
Wing
it. So I'm not gonna do, like, I have a few stories more recently, but this one always just springs to mind because it was just so embarrassing. And it was before, like way before wrestling, or even way before I was doing anything in radio or anything like that. And it was I was doing a show in Waterford. I was in my 20s, and it was like a Christmas variety show, you know, loads of different acts and stuff like that, you know. And they asked me, would I, as well as like singing a number at the end, would I MC it? So I said, yeah, no problem. I'd never done MC or compare or anything like that before in my life, and shockingly underprepared. So so I
I love how you're reliving a painful memory.
yeah. It's
Points
just
for cringe.
I don't even know if the story is going to be as bad. It's just whenever I think about it, just the feeling comes back to me. The searing hot cringe comes back to me.
Tell the bear. Tell the bear.
I-
Or the dog.
There was a dancer coming up next who I know I was friends with her years. Oh, Siobhan, right? Siobhan, a great, proper professional ballet dancer. And she was up next, and she was going to be doing this this great choreographed piece, and fantastic. It was great. They had a big board up beside the stage that was kind of saying, you know, who was on next or whatever. So I looked at it and went, grand. Okay, Siobhan Murphy's on next. Grand. So I went out on the stage. So this is about about 400 odd people. And I got the microphone. I was like, yeah, you know, G up the crowd a little bit. And I went, up next. And her name.
Oh no.
No, you blanked.
Blanked.
Oh, no.
Gets worse. So I blanked. Then I went, kind of playing it off as a joke, went to the side of the stage to look for her name while leaving the stage empty.
Oh no.
Couldn't find her name anymore. Went back out onto the stage. And literally anything would have been better than what I did, because what I did was, up next,
No.
I made a random noise, and God bless her, as she was coming on, she gave me this look, as in like not angry, just like, what the fuck was that? like and it's just like, oh no. And long story short, I get paid to do that now.
I've come a long way. I have secondhand embarrassment from that story.
That was like, I don't know if it translates as well to a story, but it's just
I have
complete
secondhand
panic and cringe in the moment. I just
I'm going to award you 5 points for that story. However, I'm taking away 3 because you gave me secondhand embarrassment. Because that.
Yeah.
What size crowd are we looking at here, Dennis?
400 and something.
That's a big fucking
That's a
crowd.
big crowd.
Yeah, 3 levels.
Oi.
Yeah, three
Oh, so
floors.
it's not even like it's like they're elevated. So that was like that's shit like that. It's looking at them like enclose in on you. Is you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and up next is bleh.
Yeah. Now it wasn't. Now, like my only saying, it wasn't. It was kind of. It wasn't like an overly professionally run piece, in my opinion. Anyway, it was kind of a casual affair, but still, yeah, that was ungodly embarrassing.
Oh,
So yeah, I have an intense fear of blanking on shit now. That's why I have my notepad with me all the time.
you know what? You're a man who learned. You learned
Yeah.
from an error from a mistake, and you will never let it happen again. That's what
And
I'm
you know, needless to say, like I like wrestling fans would be a lot less forgiving. You know?
Like if that happened at a wrestling show and you just went bleh, every time your name would be announced
Yeah.
as like you're as coming out, everyone would be like bleh, bleh,
Yeah.
bleh. Like
Oh,
the
my
Mighty Ducks
career
cracking.
would be done. Like, yeah, completely.
You wouldn't have one.
No,
Oh fucking
completely.
Foxy, I'm begging you not to give me secondhand embarrassment here.
I don't know about that. Like, I got so caught up in the story that I actually forgot to take it one myself. I'm not even joking. I'm just like, oh shit, I forgot it's door coming up.
You'll have way more than me though, because I mean, there's been several times, obviously, where things have shit hit the fan, and you've had to kind of go on the fly with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be
mean,
wrestling related, obviously.
Yeah,
no, definitely not. But like, if we're talking Foxy, we all know.
Oh yeah,
don't want to be.
Yeah, that's the obvious one. Like, yeah.
Or for all we know, Foxy has been moonlighting as a stripper and just like chicken winging it on stage.
Oh, absolutely. But he's been.
Oh my god! Oh
bat winging it.
My god, Foxy, are you wearing Jake pajamas?
Not pajamas.
Are they sweats?
Jake leggings.
Amazing.
They are comfy as shit. I don't care.
Honey, I live in sweats and leggings now. Thank you, COVID. That's amazing. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Secondhand. Oh, the secondhand cringe.
I know, it's still holding up.
That was bad.
That was potent.
That was really bad. That's why that's the first one that kind of comes to my head. Like everything else I've kind of been able to play it off. It hasn't been that bad.
Yeah. Jerry had that one like when you're like, when you have like back like when you're in school and you may, let's say you had a day off and then you go in the next day and then you realize, oh, that's the day that you're meant to be presenting something, and you're like, I haven't done the work on this. Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. And then you're kind of hoping that the smart person in your group, you're kind of like, I said, look, you've done all the work. Okay, I'll tell you what. How about I just do the wording? I'll do the speaking part. Do you know for a fact that the person who's done all the work does not want to speak in front of everyone at all. They never want to do the talking. It's always, you always get a nice mix of introverts and extroverts, like when you're doing group projects, I find. And it's always like the two loudest ones are, you're like, you two aren't doing any of this fucking work. We'll get used to speak it, and then like I'll get marks in for that. That used to happen all the time in school. You'd be like scoping out or ever like when like you'd count. Do you ever have to read out loud in school?
Yeah,
all the time. But English was my fucking top subject. Like, so
did you ever do the count?
Count?
Did you ever count? So you're like, all right, we're gonna start on this one here, and you do a paragraph each. So you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Okay, what's the 10th? And you practice reading the paragraph.
Yes, I have done that before.
I remember. I don't know why I remember this. I remember from this is so random to just come up in my head. I can't remember what class I was in. It was English. And I remember reading some story like that. And in the story, there was some line about fucking, it was like a Dublin story or something. And there was some line written from a character saying like something about her fanny, right? And naturally, when that word is read out, everybody goes, right?
This is the Play on the Stars. This sounds like it could have been the Play on the Stars.
Oh, it very well could have been. Honestly,
because
very well could have been.
I'm nearly sure that one of the characters, oh God, what's his name? Oh, Burgess. Betsy Burgess is one of the characters they're talking about.
That's
Fanny
correct.
is the name. Is the name of one of the. It's like some. It's not what. It's not.
Borges.
Oh God, what the fuck?
Snip.
Oh, snip. Oh God, I'm nearly sure that would have been.
You very well. I cannot remember it all, so you very well could be correct. But everybody.
It's only when you said a Dublin story, it had to be a Sean O'Casey play because they were the only fucking three that people had to do.
Yeah, pretty much. And then basically, for some reason, I don't know why, I still find it funny to this day. Everybody started laughing, and the teacher, who is very, very prim and proper English speaker, went, yes, and of course, what is a fanny? A fanny is what? And we like go, what?
It's an arse.
And yeah, it was, I don't know why, that just stuck with me. And it's just like, dude, somebody that fucking high society should not say the word fanny.
Sounds weird. Fluter. It would have been fluter.
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 Good.
Five
want a
points to
fluter
yourself.
good there now. Did you hear? Fluter good with Fanny. God, I'm sorry.
Cheers, Miley.
I'm sorry. I actually remember that. I remember doing the Play on the Stairs.
I do remember reading that, so it probably is that. I remember reading that.
I remember doing that, and it literally was the teacher had to pick. Okay, who are the fucking the students that will actually say like speak out loud in our class? And she gave everyone, and one of the girls that she picked was like, I think what was her name, Malzer. I think it's like Bessie's kid, the one who's like dying of consumption. And she picked the girl that she picked for it. This was the best off the cuff remark I've ever heard from someone ever. And like the girl she picked for it, Roisin, she was the epitome of a goth in 2000 and what year? This would have been like 2005, 2006, maybe 2005. And like she's like, okay, Amy, you'll do you do Nora, and Dara, you'll do Fluter, and you'll do Peter, whatever it was. And then it's like, oh, Roisin, you can be Mulder. And without missing a beat, she was just like, you want me to pay the consumption kid? Is it because I'm pale? Is that what this is about? And she just coughed at her, and we were just like,
Did
that's
everybody
what you sound like? Oh my god!
Did everybody here go through a goth phase? Because I did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have the new
Central
rocks?
Bank phase.
I did.
I did. The new rocks,
What?
yeah.
I went
the
to
new rocks
with the new rocks.
and the
eyeliner as
the
well.
fucking the Jinko jeans.
Not the jingle jeans. I couldn't. I
The
wasn't
fucking
allowed.
big with the big chain,
Like
the wallet chain.
I had
I think I
that.
still have the
And-
I
chains.
had my uniform with the fucking big long chain hanging out.
I had a dog collar.
I didn't have the dog collar.
I had the dog collar with the spikes. Yeah.
I had certain standards.
I'm not gonna lie. I remember I backcombed the shit out of my hair, which was dyed like proper black. as
I
well.
had hair. I
Very
had
dark
hair
eyeliner.
down to my arse. I had
My God, but,
long
like,
hair.
I'm like you've all seen me in public. Okay, I am not a tanned person. I am not a tanned Irish girl at all. Can you imagine what I look like when I have black hair? Fucking transparent. I looked horrific in school. Like I had the fucking back comb, hairspray to shit, dyed black hair with like just eyeliner, smudged, and then black eyeshadow with it, and then the black nail polish. Which
Oh yeah, dude, I would have been all over that. That's what. That's like
God.
Like
I'll hang out in the prayer room as well. In the school prayer room that we had, the school chapel that we
Mine
had.
was
That's where all the
unfortunately
goths
an
hung
all-boys
out.
school, so we didn't have the luxury of goth girls.
The New Rocks were so expensive and they were so fucking heavy, dude. They were not comfortable.
I got mine for free.
Oh, you prick.
Bastard.
And
I
you
still
want
think I have a pair of Doc Martens.
Red Vinny gave them to me.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Like,
How do you manage that?
so this was back in 2006. So randomly, like at a training session, he was there and he was changing into fucking his brand new shoes. But obviously he had his New Rocks with him. It's like, who here's a size 8?
Man, New Rocks were expensive. They were fucking expensive, dude.
You fucking get
I'm legit looking at a pair of New Rocks right now. They're €200.
Yeah.
And
They were
I'm not gonna lie.
They were proper leather and proper like steel toe cap as well.
I'm not gonna lie. I really like these.
Those things.
Yeah, that's the classic. That's a classic one. I had ones though. The ones I had flames on them. Yeah.
Mine didn't have flames. Mine were just black, but like they had the buckles at the side.
Mine had the buckles, but they had the yellow orange flames on the
nice.
on the toe and going upside there. Real nice.
Real nice. 323 euros.
See, I say that, but I also remember wearing New Rocks, and I remember that they look great, but they're heavy.
You could not. I'll be honest with you.
I mind them.
I'm nearly sure. I'm nearly sure they were actually, they weighed me down. But I also went through the skater phase as well.
Yeah,
I went from the goth phase suddenly into the skater phase, and realistically all it was tiny bit brighter clothing, brighter hair, and my new accessory was a skateboard. I did not know how to use a skateboard. I'm clumsy as fuck, but I would carry one around.
When I left the goth phase, I didn't really change much, except like I stayed a rock guy, but I didn't like. It just became less extreme. That's all it was.
So like, I went from the goth to skate to a little bit emo, to me realizing, oh, I am just emo. I just don't show it on the outside. If you get me.
Oh, yeah. the girl I moved.
My tattoos do, but me myself, I don't.
Way back in the day, like we were saying before, the girl I originally moved to Waterford with was the emoest emo that ever emoed. My fucking god!
Most of emos that ever emoed.
Oh, jeez. I'm gonna torture you like no one's ever been tortured in the history of torture.
That's fairly accurate.
I went from getting into rock music, got the New Rocks and the eyeliner phase, then slowly transitioned to. Now I was already a skater anyway, so I could pick and choose on different days whether I was gonna be like full goth or if I was gonna be skater. So, but then I hit my 20s, and then I started realizing, oh, tracksuit bottoms are comfortable as fuck. And then I started realizing, how the fuck did I manage going out with black jeans, black hoodie in the middle of fucking summer?
Yeah,
I still do that. No. I'm like, I'll be honest. Okay, so like, I think the greatest example of winging it in general is just as you age, like as you become an adult. Because honest to God, like that is the most winging it of winging it. I think it's like literally just trying to go from here to here, right? So I mean, so we're talking about this right now, okay? And you see us, okay. So people who are watching on the Nerds Are Us channel, right?
I forgot we were recording.
So did I for a minute until I just saw the recording button. I was like, oh yeah. So I think this is a great example. So you kind of see us in one particular way. Okay, so this is us having fun. It's Amy getting drunk. That's there. Look, that's the only part of the instruction manual of my adults I actually retained. Just get drunk and it will probably get better. But it's one of those things where you're just like, huh, this is okay. This is where this was my youth, and this is like where mom and dad were like able to tell me what to do. And then as you're kind of like in school and you're teenagers, you're like, okay, this is fine. This is where teachers are going to tell me what to do. And then you're just kind of the gate is opened, and you're like, okay, be free. You know, okay, we've taught you everything you need to know. Go and do it. And now I'm like, I'm a financial advisor. I am winging in that. I am winging being a financial advisor. I have people thank me for getting them out of like really bad situations. And I don't know if I can't remember if I think I might have told Foxy this story. It might have happened like I think it actually happened at our last like live recording that we were doing, but I don't think Dennis would have heard this. I can't remember when I told the story, but like I was literally on the phone to a woman and she was sobbing. She was so happy. She was like, I helped her get herself back on her feet. She was out of debt. She was so excited. She actually had savings. She was really excited. And I was like, I was so happy for her and everything was great. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so lucky to have someone like you to help me with my money, sort out my finances. And I was like, you're so welcome. Then I got an email. I hung up the phone. Then I got an email and it was basically from Spotify saying your payment was declined, insufficient funds. And I was just like, couldn't have come at a worse time. I felt so good about myself, what I was doing. And then Spotify just went, bitch, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You were winging.
I don't know if anybody ever really. I put this up on Twitter the other day when I was saying I was fucking so weirded out that I had to call a tree surgeon. It's like, I don't know this shit, dude. I'm meant to be. It still surprised me. I'm meant to be an adult. I don't fucking know what I'm doing. Don't ask me to do
if
adult
we were
things.
Americans, we'd be fucked because they have to do their own taxes.
Oh, completely. The Ross website scares the shit out of me. I'm fucking like, to do the tax. I don't barely know how to fucking use that shit. Like
I'm pretty sure I'm due a tax refund, but I can't navigate a government website.
It's horrible. It's horrible. Do you know what I started doing? I basically just filled out everything and sent it in. And I was just like, you figure it out.
Like, turns out you actually owe us more money, sir.
Yeah. But anyway, Foxy.
Yes.
You've had loads of time now. Come on.
I know.
Yeah.
I have one. And this one has happened quite a few times, but in slightly different ways. But I'll give you one example.
Oh, okay. I'm interested.
It's wrestling related, so like
I'm even more interested.
As soon as I started, Dennis will know exactly what I mean. So, but this has been happening for fucking years, and anytime I work a show with
it happens to all men at some point.
With Jamie Coleman.
Atlanta Falcons.
Atlanta Falcons. No, but anytime I do a show with him, he always fucking sets me up on it. And fucking, it's always the case like, oh yeah, like he's having a good time. Yeah. Do you want to see another match? Come on, you can. Okay, do you want to see Foxy dance? Yeah, you bastard.
Wait, is this?
You bastard! I'm in the middle of the ring, so it's
no. The last time was the best. The last time was the best because I was there. That's why it was the best. But no, it was the best because Foxy. Everybody knew it was happening except Foxy.
Yeah,
and that's why. Like we had all been clued in. Every single person had been clued in except Foxy. And right, he thought he was going to be able to just like say no and play it off, right? It was fucking in the ring. And the guys, I think it was Fabulous Nikki.
It was.
And it was Fabulous Nikki, I can't remember who else. But it was definitely him anyway. Because they were doing a dance-off in the ring.
It was a match.
Great. Yeah, but they were doing a dance-off. And
it was a match. It wasn't a dance-off. It was a match.
But they were having a little dance-off spot. And that was great. And then they kind of pointed at Foxy. Foxy was like, no. And it was obvious Foxy was going to try and like play it off back into the match or something.
Yeah.
But the lights dimmed and a spotlight went on Foxy. And the music started. And he just went in the middle of the ring, and he knew he was fucked. He had to do it.
I'm going to award 3 points for Foxy's discomfort, and I'm going to award Jamie Coleman 10 points just for well fucking played.
Any time I've done a show with him, this started back when we were doing wrestling.e. Like we would do it just to kind of buy time for if something needed to be done for the next match.
Yeah.
And so it became a regular thing. But then you're doing that for fucking years, and it's like, I'm not a good dancer. Like
I don't know, man. You killed it. It was great.
No.
I've seen you dance at shows, man. You can bust a dad move.
Oh no, it's better. But oh yeah, that's the best part. They played fucking. It was Right Said Fred.
Yeah. So it was Right Said Fred, but on the .e shows it was 5. Everybody get down. That was the main song, no matter what.
I want get on up when you're down, baby. Oh,
everybody get up, singing 1, 2,
oh
3,
God,
4,
yeah.
5 will make you get down.
Copyright strike.
No, it's all right. As long as you're actually the one, if you're doing your own version, but you cannot get a copyright strike on it. It's only if we play the original.
I know.
Booyah! I'm learning.
Loopholes.
I've heard of people getting copyright struck on their own songs.
It's shocking, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know what Foxy's good when it comes to winging it, actually? Or it's getting himself out of trouble, I think, actually, especially on wrestling shows, because when I used to go to them, and it was always the Belfast shows, because it was the Belfast shows in Mandela Hall were always my favorite ones, because I'd been drinking the entire drive. I wasn't driving. I just want to point that out there. I'd been drinking from Dublin to Belfast on the bus.
So you were nicely toasted by the time you got there.
I was,
well,
and it was brilliant as well, because it wasn't like we didn't have to wait outside either, because it was like by the time the bus rolled up, doors were open.
Nice.
And because we were on the bus, or I was on the bus, I knew the back way in.
Went in the back door. Like
I went through the no hole. But it makes it even better as well when you just have like random wrestlers just look at you and like, what the fuck is she doing back here? And just slink it out to like front row. But like this
is way too prevalent. I've noticed that is way too prevalent, and I'm guilty of it, and I guarantee you Fox is guilty of it too, of being backstage and just going, "What the fuck was that?" and then just going back to your conversation.
I think one of my favorite things ever though it was never, who the fuck is that? It was always like, all right, Amy. Yeah. And then just walking off like
just continuing about your day.
Yeah, I'm just going on. I'm here. I'm bringing the bus driver in, guys. It's okay. I'm meant to be here, but it's fine. It's okay. I'm with the bus driver. It's cool. But I remember, we used to go. So like in Mandela Hall, so they didn't have seating, in Mandela Hall. If you went up to the balcony, you might be able to find a stool. But if you were downstairs, you were standing. And it was grand, and it was fine. Like it sounds shitty in the sense you're going to be standing for like possibly 4 hours. You don't even feel it, but it's fine. And the Belfast crowd at the time weren't very vocal in a sense. So
shall we call a spade and just like they weren't great. Like
they weren't great. I didn't want to bash it.
Yes,
they changed significantly. They got so much better.
Yeah.
Huh?
They've come out of their shells since
lockdown. They've had time to fucking grow. So evolve. So we used to go. We'd be standing at the barrier. And I mean, Dennis, you might not realize it. I have a voice that carries. Shocking, I know. And when Amy's had 2 bottles of wine in her voice really carries. So my favorite thing used to be, no one knows me up here. I'm just gonna heckle where I can.
I'm gonna let you finish your story, but it's also just what it reminds me of the very first time I ever knew who Amy was. But I'll let you continue.
Yeah, we'll hold on to that story.
Yeah.
Jonathan, get ready with the edit button.
So she had her top lifted up, right?
That's probably true. So what had happened was, so we were at this wood show. I can't even Flip Gordon. No, Flip wasn't. I can't even remember who was on the card now. I do remember a specific thing, and actually it involves the Fabulous Nikki. And Fabulous Nikki came out, and this is when he used to always be like, he used to always like get a kiss for good luck before the start of his match.
Yes.
And he was like, "Oh, I need to get a kiss for good luck. I need someone to kiss it." And like no one would like offer for it because it's Belfast. And I remember just being like, "Just kiss Foxy," and Foxy just turned and looked at me and just went, "No." And then looked at Nikki, "No."
Because I had seen back when I was a fan, I've seen Foxy get caught with that.
Exactly right. So Nikki comes out. And he's like, he's at me, and he came over to me and he's like, he's not gonna. I was like, all right, turn and kiss on the cheek, and then he goes up, and then he got hit from behind. He got Pearl Harbored, and I just screamed, "That wasn't my fault." So that continues on. So then the next, Foxy's standing in the ring, and he's just like, "Oh God, please show her up." You can see him. He's like, "Shut up, just ignore her, just white noise, just blank her out," because he was starting to kind of crack a little bit, and that was fine anyway. We moved on, and then it was Joe Coffey. That's who was on the show that day, because he was tagging with Be Cool.
Yeah,
Be Cool was doing his brother. It was the Gymnasty brothers, and the two of them started having like a sibling quarrel, let's say, in the middle of the ring. And Angel was trying to get them to work together, and the crowd was like starting to boo in a sense. And Angel screams, she goes, "My God, we're losing the crowd! Like, you have to help us here." And I can't remember what exactly was said, but it was literally like, "Come on, you're meant to be my brother," or "Come on, we can do this. You're my brother." And I remember screaming out, and it's caught so fucking clearly on the VOD that it's as if someone just held a microphone under my mouth as I said it. And I screamed, "He's your brother, he's not a miracle worker." And I think it was just Foxy just turned into the corner, and you could just see his shoulders going up and down. Well, Angel turns, and even he's like, "Whoa, my God, that came out of nowhere." And B Kill just looking at us, "Get her the fuck out of here. Get her out of here now. Like, get out." And it was like, in my head, I'm just thinking, "Oh, I'm quite good at heckling, I think. I think I should keep this up." And then it got to a point where it was just like, I remember just Foxy, me and him we weren't even like considered friends at this point. And I remember every now and again, it was like getting ready to say something, and Foxy would just be like, "No, don't say a word. Don't say a word." I'm like, okay.
Periodically, I actually look over and look at her and just like, "Don't you dare." I know
don't
it.
You dare.
Don't you dare.
Because I'd be like ready. I'd have it. It's on the tip of my tongue. I'm ready to do it. I think the only other one that I got at that time was Paul Tracy. And he came out. And he was like, "I am the Lord of the Manor. You will bow to me." And I just screamed out, "Oh, shut up. You're just nothing but boss baby." And everyone just started doing a boss baby chant. And I was just like,
I was gonna say something else, but like no, like that's no.
I got the boss baby chant. I was happy with
That's
boss
good.
baby.
That's very good. That's very good.
I'm gonna give myself 3 points.
First time I ever was aware of Amy was
not in like new Amy or heard of.
I was aware of her.
Yeah.
Aware.
Because so it was God, Foxy will tell you, but it was while I was training, I had just started on Ring Crew, and main event for the evening was Jordan Devlin and Voldemort's mustache. And
what a fucking reference. I love that. I'll give him 5 points for that.
But you know what? 5 points to Gryffindor. Yeah, 5 points.
And it was the whole security deal.
Oh. I know where this
So
is going. Yeah.
I was asked by Jordan and Voldatash to be part of this security detail. So basically, we had to round up actual security guards and then a few workers as well. I think there was me, Con,
Danny Cross.
I think Danny Cross. There was me,
Cowboy, I think.
me, Kelly. No, not Cowboy.
No.
Me,
Oh,
Kelly.
he was, yeah.
Was Danny Cross in it? I thought no. I think it was Alex Grayson.
Sorry, Alex
It
Grayson.
was
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
It was one of them.
Me, Kelly, and Alex Grayson. They were the three trainees.
Yeah.
And then the rest were actual security. And we were given our cue and all that stuff. So it was like, yeah, okay, this is what we want. We want like to Tyson fight, with their security. Okay, cool. Yeah, with no problem to do that. And I remember going up and, my cue was when Jordan passed me, I was going to follow him and we were going to go into the ring. So that was my cue. And Amy, who I didn't know at this time, was sitting at the entranceway. So that was probably where you always sat.
Mm-hmm.
Now.
And I remember going for my cue and distinctly remember Amy shouting, because I remember the voice, going, "What the fuck is that?" Right? As myself and a couple of other guys make our way into the ring. And then the intros start and we're standing there and the crowd are fucking hot as hell, right? But the vitriol coming from this woman's mouth towards Mr. Valdestash was I mean, now we all know it was well deserved and she was correct. I mean, but at the time,
2020.
At the time, she was vastly outnumbered. But my God, she stuck to her guns. And of all the people there, I just remember, geez, that one was fucking loud. That's.
You're not the only one to comment that. Did any of you watch? Did any of you? Well, Foxy was on the show, and I don't know how often you would go back and watch a VOD of the show.
It depends.
Depends on who it is.
If I need to do it for something, as in
right.
Yeah,
so
if I have a reason, I'll go back.
Right, so you might not have seen this. And I'm nearly sure this actually happened on the. It wasn't the same show as that match. It would have been the stadium show before that one.
Basketball arena?
And two things happened. Voldemort's mustache was facing Dan Barry. That was one thing.
Okay.
And another thing was Be Cool did a promo outside where he handed out a load of signs because he wanted them for when his entrance. He's like, we just pulled them up for the entrance.
Oh,
and he was then having the
was the video played?
It was, yeah, it was
entrance?
played. It was played before his entrance, right? And this is I think actually probably one of my proudest moments for being a non-wrestler on a wrestling show getting such a big pop, right? Because I peaked at this. My comedic genius peaked at this moment. Foxy, I'm actually giving you hosting duties for this for the rest of the show because I'm winging it. And what happened was he was doing it between us because we were the ones that were already there, and he kind of knew. I'd say he knew I'll be able to get them to give me some answers. And he goes, they're also pretty drunk, so they'll probably just do what I ask. And I remember he came up to me.
Sounds questionable.
Nope.
Sounds questionable.
Nope.
The camera was more or less kind of like, how great am I? Don't I deserve a title shot? That's what he's asking. He wants to get the response, and everyone's playing into it, and they're all playing into it. And I had a can of gin and tonic in my hand, and he comes to me and he goes, "Yeah, I do deserve a title shot, right?" He looks at me, and I had dead straight face, and I just went, "Mate, this is sad." And Alex, I think I'm nearly sure it might. Oh no, it would have been Danny, would have been the cameraman at the time, and he just started he just started laughing. And Barry, straight face. Be Cool had such a straight face, and he just looked at me and he just went, "No, edit that. And then they kind of walk off, and as he's walking off, I started to laugh over him. I'm like, oh, I can't believe. And we were joking about like, how the fuck did you keep a straight? Ali couldn't understand how I kept a straight face saying that. So we're in at the show. That was grand. And we thought that was going to be a promo for a Tivoli show. We didn't think we didn't know we were using it that night, sort of thing, if you get me. It didn't we didn't comprehend that was going to happen that night. And the videos, his promo before the match starts to get played, and we're all like, yay, we're turning around, we're watching it, and they all have their signs ready to go, and we're watching this, and then it comes to it, all of a sudden it cuts to him doing the interview of outside, and everyone's like, and I was like, yeah, you deserve a title shot, woo, I have a petition going, you're getting a title shot. And then the camera just turns to me and goes, yeah, what do you think? Mate, this is just sad now. And it just cuts on me, and then it just looks to Barry, and the big cuts off the whole video. Everyone, I had 2,200 people pissing themselves laughing. And at that moment, and I was sitting there, and I was slightly mortified though at this point, because I was like, oh no. I was like, oh no. And intermission hadn't even happened yet at this point. At intermission, the amount of people that came over been like, that was brilliant. Well fucking done. Like, top notch on you, like, for doing that. But during his entrance as well, he's coming in. Everyone who I was standing with, they all had the signs that he'd given out. I did not take a sign because, mate, this is sad. And what had happened was, John Morrissey, who is a fantastic photographer, he happened to take a photo of everyone standing up, and I'm just sitting there, just like I look like I've been brought to a cult meeting, but I've left it too late to try and leave.
When you don't realize you've been brought to a cult.
Yeah, it's a real kind of situation of like, oh, how do I get out of this? I cannot get out of this now. I'm stuck here.
You see, this is the type of shit I wish I did. You see, this is why I'm slowly trying to work on getting Jerry and Amy to come back to wrestling. I want to experience this stuff when I'm involved.
Like,
slowly working on it.
For me at the moment, it's still a little bit fresh, if you get me. But I'm not going to say
you never say never.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it would never happen. Like, there is a good possibility of someone will twist my arm enough that I'll go to a wrestling show, and you never know. It might
if you went
reignite,
or it could go and you just think, nah, don't miss it at all, and then that's it as well, like, you know.
Yeah, it has the possibility of going one way or the other.
Yeah,
but I mean, I won't say never, but I do, like, I honestly think that some of the best photos that have ever happened were at wrestling shows of me just being sassy as fuck. Or I think this might have been the beginning of our friendship, Foxy.
Yeah. It would have been one of those, yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, I've had some cracking moments at shows, and I have had.
And now you have, you know, fucking me and Foxy in there as well. Fucking KC has tried to pop me and has succeeded several fucking times at this stage. When you're in it, you see, you get to shout random shit at me when I'm in there as well. See who can make me break, because it's not that difficult.
Actually, do you want to see probably one of the best pictures of all time? This is actually at the KRFC, and this was during Voldemort's mustache's entrance. Right, so you can see. Hold on, I'm going to zoom in a second. Everyone's standing up. You can see there's just two people sitting down. I am not amused. I have never been amused. I would not normally wish death on somebody, right? I wouldn't. It's too far.
You felt it in your waters.
But honest to God, I have at no point in my entire wrestling fan career did I ever warm up to that man. Ever. it was always like, there's something dodgy about this chap. I cannot put my finger on it. It was the mustache. I'm gonna call it now. It was the mustache. But no. So some of my favorite moments, I'm not gonna lie, are been out knowing that I called him out before everyone else did.
Now, I will give you like, so the last show that I just did, which was a Fight Factory show, and in the days leading up to it, I was given a challenge for said show, and this was to incorporate the bat symbol during the show.
Bat symbol.
Yeah.
Do you know, Jim? I think I gave myself whiplash for how quickly I whipped my head back when I heard bat symbol.
Huh? But yeah, managed to do it 5 times during the show, and he didn't even cop it.
What's the bat symbol? What's the bat symbol?
I was doing different ways of doing it. So if I was in the middle of a count, it'd be like 1, 2, bat symbol 3.
Oh, getting the words bat symbol in.
Words, bat symbol, or actual like bat symbol. Like then I was finding different ways to do it. I was also I had to get in.
Actually, I can actually imagine Foxy at one point just been like this.
I nearly did. I was so tempted to do it at least once.
NLW, that's what you have to do.
What's hilarious is that like, while I know at least once I got Kira, she got it straight away and started giggling.
When you pop Kira, you're actually going to set off a chain reaction of popping people, not even realizing it. With her laugh, because like it happened. There was do you remember WrestleCon when they did the WrestleCon and they had the Q&A? Justy was on the Q&A, and he made a joke about something, and it was the worst possible timing because it popped me and Ali, and me and Ali had, again, shockingly, we'd been drinking heavily. I know, shock horror.
Mild shock.
And I know. And what had happened was it popped me so much that I started to snort. And because I snorted, Jonathan, I want you to edit the name of this laugh.
Don't, Jonathan.
Because when I snort, it sets Ali off to do her deaf girl donkey laugh. So you now have a girl that sounds like a donkey laughing, and you have a girl snorting like a pig that are laughing, to the extent where the Q&A stopped and they all just leaned forward slightly and just looked, because we were sitting in our normal seats in the front row in the Tivoli. And then we realized that they had stopped and they were looking at us, and that made me laugh more. And it made Ali laugh more, right? So you have me, which is like like this, but then you have Ali who's like this. But that's without the coughing fit. That's what started happening. And then Justy just screamed out and goes, "Oh my God, who brought the ham sandwiches?" Because which he said that to me, and it offended me so much that I stopped laughing. And Justy just went, and just realized, oh, she did not like that, or oh shit, she heard me say that.
I'm a big Justy fan. I'm a big Justy
I love
fan.
Justy. I love Justy. I really do. Okay, I think it was like the last recording when we were in. I was like literally like going through my phone. Was it even a record? It was one of our recordings. It's like, why? I have Justy's phone number, and I have Katie Harvey's phone number. I'm like, how do I have these?
Yeah.
I have Foxy's phone numbers, and I'm mates with Foxy.
Mutual acquaintances.
Oh, honestly, God, it weirded me out so much. I was like, how the fuck do I have this?
I don't think I even have Foxy's number.
I have him on Messenger. So like that's good enough. Like, there was
the quickest way you can get you, to be honest.
Again, I know I've already said this, but I have passed over the hosting duties for this for Foxy, because I didn't realize I had so many winging it stories. there was a trip we went to Belfast. This entire trip was a winging it trip, right? And it was for PWU.
Yep.
It was their New Year's show, and someone in our group.
Was this the heat wave show?
Yeah, the furnace.
The furnace, like the name of the show.
They don't know what that word means. They do not know what that word means.
Icebox.
Fucking an old B&Q warehouse. Now, I'm not gonna lie. If it was a bit smaller, that would have been a fantastic venue for anything. You could have a fucking nightclub in there. Like, that would be class, sorry. But anyway, someone in our friends group, Rob Harmon, fuck you, came up with the idea, why don't we go to Belfast for New Year's Eve? We can go and see a wrestling show. We'll call in the new year. So a few of us were like, hell yeah, fuck it, why not? So we ended up winning tickets for it. But it was like, that's whatever, because I think we won like 4 tickets for it. We got Keane to start entering competitions when he did, and Keane won. And then we ended up buying, I think we had to buy I think there was like 3 more we ended up buying. That was grand. Bought our bus tickets. That was fine. And we're like, that's grand. So then we got onto Rob and we are like, so what bus do you want to get? And he goes, oh, I'm not going. Why not? He goes, oh, I've plans for New Year's. He was going to, I think he was going like to Fibbers or something like that for New Year's. And we were like, this was your fucking idea. Do you know what? Fuck it. We're still going to go. Screw it. So we got the 10:30 bus up to Belfast. That got us there at around, let's say 12ish. And then we were Googling, we had booked a taxi to bring us to B&Q and the warehouse. And we had booked a taxi to collect us at 1 a.m. because we were going back to Dublin that night. We were not staying in Belfast. We had no intentions of spending our first day of the new year in Belfast. We wanted to wake up in Dublin, as normal people do. So we have a day. So we're there for the day, basically, and we're like, we need to kill time off. So a group of us, we went off and we got something to eat. That was grand. That was fine. We managed to go to we came across the living manger, and they had like alpacas and they had a donkey and stuff like that, and donations. Like, we literally went over and we were like petting alpacas for like 20 minutes, and then we felt bad and we gave them sterling that we had because we weren't going to use it. So we get to the venue, everything's grand, and we go in and it's massive, wide open, and it's fucking freezing. Like, it is freezing, horrifically cold. We didn't get there enough. We didn't get to the chairs that had the blankets, so we just kept our jackets on the whole night. And I was like, John, I'm going to get wine. Let's see what they had. So I ended up getting a glass of wine, which was like £4. And it was like a full glass, like one of those, like one of the solo
proper full ass.
It was a fucking solo cup.
Half bottle. Full,
that's literally, I was like, I'm pretty sure there is a bottle of wine in this. There was definitely like half a bottle of wine in a fucking solo cup. And we were drinking that, and that was grand. So the end of the show had happened, and we were like, Keane had constantly kind of been feeling ill to the extent where we kept having to rebook our taxi. And then unfortunately, he ended up cancelling it, but we couldn't rebook a taxi. So now we're like, shit, how the fuck are we going to get out of here? But before all of that happened, there was a Twitter account that was active at the time. And it was called Michael May Fan Facts. The Michael May Facts Twitter account.
I remember this.
And a few of us.
I remember somebody telling me who ran it, but I don't know if they were joking or not. And this is before my time properly, I think.
I'll hear the story. Then
you're going to find out. You're going to find out. So a few of us had the login details for this account, myself being one of them. And we were at the show, and Michael May happened to be on the show. So while he was on the show, we were tweeting off a few Twitter facts for Michael May fans. And having a good laugh about the whole thing. That was grand. So then what happened was the show had finished, and we were waiting for the after party, and we were sitting on the bleachers thing, and we were wrapped up. And the next thing that happens is Michael May, LJ Cleary, Nathan Martin, and Darren Kearney. Darren Kearney. Kearney.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I couldn't fucking think of the surname. And someone else. It might have been Scotty Davis. I can't remember, but it was definitely a fifth one. Stroll on up to the bleachers, and they see us standing there, and Keane shits himself because LJ is standing there, and that was Keane's one true love. And he can't make eye contact. It was as if 5 women had just walked in front of Keane, and he just panicked. He just looked down at his feet. Nathan was next to me, and Nathan was kind of also like, what the fuck are they doing here? Meanwhile, Amy's had at least 2.5 bottles of wine based on the measurements that I've been given. So I'm Miss Cocky Bitch. I have my trench coat, and I'm just like, hey, what's up, Beth? What's the story? What do you want? And LJ, they're kind of looking at each other, and they're whispering to each other. And eventually LJ, who's clearly the leader of the group, steps forward and he's like, we know it's one of you. We know for a fact one of you is running Michael May fans. And the lads, the lads all just kind of look at me as if, what are we going to do? The jig is up. Whereas in effect, what they've actually done was incriminated me and only me, because every single eyes, they all just looked at me. And I have the biggest shit-eating grin on my face, been like, what makes you think that? Like, with the biggest grin. And they're like, we fucking know it's you. We know it's you. Because I was like, I don't get it. He goes, because he did something in the match, and he goes, and you tweeted about it. And you literally tweeted about it. And it has to be one of yous. It has to be one of yous. And I was like, why does it matter? Like, why do you care? It's like, is it upsetting you? And I looked at Mike and I was like, does it upset you that you have a fan Twitter account, that someone set you up a fan Twitter account? And he goes, no. And I was like, so why do you need to know who set it up? And Michael just kind of goes, I just want to thank them for it. It's been really good for me.
That's so sweet.
It was so fucking wholesome. Because what happened was at contender shows, at clubs at the ringside, we were like, Michael May chants were going. Like, people were really going into it, and like Michael May facts had been like getting so many, we'd been getting so many fucking likes on this whole stuff. And he was just like, I just want to thank them for it. And I'm like, well, mate, whoever set it up, they're a fan, they appreciate it. So like, don't need to thank, like, just let it go. It's grand. Don't worry about it. So they were like, oh, fuck it, maybe it's not her. And they kind of turned their tail between them, and they walk off. And then I just kind of whipped out my phone and started typing on my phone. I wasn't making a tweet. I started typing on my phone, and then I just put it back in my pocket, and straight away the 5 of them whip out their phones, and they're just like, it's you. We know it's you. We know it's you. And I just like, oh, it's grand, whatever. Put my phone away. Then we kind of forgot about it. And the after party happened, and we kind of got drinking again more. And then I did tweet from the Michael May fan cast, and I was like, Michael May fact of the day: Michael May is a wholesome boy who just wants to thank me. And I put it down, and as soon as I had done that, I was like, that's a bit of a dead giveaway. Actually, that one was. And before I could delete it, I think it was LJ or Justy was just like, you. LJ, was LJ. He looked at me and goes, it fucking is you. And then Justy came over to me, and he was like, all the shit that you got in Cork, you could have avoided all that if you had just said, yeah, it was me. What of it? I was like, damn it, I could have. I had a particular wrestler very angrily demand my phone. Actually, do you know what? Yeah, Jonathan's going to be beat this. At Cork, demanded to see my phone. Right? He literally, no, but like, I'd never spoken to the chap before. I had no interactions with him, right? I didn't even know who the fuck he was. I had no idea.
Why the fuck did he want your phone? Was he angry somebody else was getting over?
Yeah.
Exactly. He was fucking freaked at it. He was freaked over, and he was like, show me your phone. Give me your fucking phone. Show me this now. Reefed on and went onto my Twitter app and looked to see how many Twitter accounts I had on my phone. And Justy is like, give her back her fucking phone. What the fuck is Reef now of his hand, handing it back to me. And I was just like, Conor McGregor, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, I had no idea who the fuck he was. And then after that, we were like, fuck Cork. Cork only had bad memories. Like we
Shit
only ever had
brand.
bad memories in Cork. Like we only had bad memories in the Cork. And that was for a CCW show, and fucking never again. Thank you very fucking much, Jerry fucking Soul. Last time I fucking bailed you out of a shit gig.
Lads.
That Mike Make fans one was my favorite. Of like literally of acting the absolute like cunt to them about it, being like, why I don't do? And whip it out and start typing.
I'll give you 6 points.
Oh, good times, man. Thank you. I feel 2 of them are for like the story, 4 of them are just getting under.
I do have a couple of stories about creepy shit that happened lately, but I'm not going to tell the stories here. I'll tell them off air.
That is not for winging it.
No, this is for private time.
And for that, you need to go to our Patreon.
You hear that? We're gonna have private time. He looks away.
But I'm trying to think of another one. Oh, god damn.
We're gonna make a comment, and no, I can't because it's too.
We can edit it out. It's fine.
Yeah, go on.
Vulgar.
What is it?
Like
go for it.
With the way this fucking this recording seems to be going, it's just turned into a 3-way battle. Like, yeah, in terms of for points. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I was waiting for it.
What am I missing? Are we having a threesome? What's happening?
Not gay if it's in a 3-way.
Hey.
If we Eiffel Tower.
With a honey in the middle, it's okay.
You have to Eiffel Tower it though.
I hate when blokes say that because it literally is. It's like you're just spit roasting a girl and high-fiving each other.
Yeah.
And it's real like not cool, guys.
You're just like you shut up, you do your job, and hey guy, bah! Can you believe this is happening?
I not appreciate it. I do not appreciate it. I do not appreciate it.
Oh, there's 2 points for Amy.
Yeah.
She can...
Get it into you.
If she can speak, it's not deep enough in her.
She committed to
the tongue. No, it's the tongue. If it's just resting on the tongue, then you will not get a sound.
Wait, no. Back to the original thing. What was the actual joke I missed?
Yeah, I was making a joke that like we're basically having a 3-way all of a sudden.
Oh, okay. So I did get the joke. Yeah. All right, thank you.
For private time. It's like as soon as you went, that's a story for private time. It's just like literally just me and Foxy just gotta lock eyes and been like,
listen,
turned into a 3-way.
I'm coming up I'm coming up there in 2 days' time. We'll have loads of private time, all of us together.
Oh, we cannot wait.
We've rented an apartment. We're going. That's not even a joke.
It's not even a joke.
I say we. Sorry, actually, I say we've rented an apartment. Actually, oh no, that is a question actually for off camera. To be honest.
Oh yeah, no, anything about that, keep off camera. Yeah.
You forget this is being edited.
No, because you could miss something.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
True.
I have no problem saying it. Was just
something tells me demonstrating I can talk during a blowjob is staying in the edit. Because
that's definitely staying in the edit. It has to.
Dennis,
with special music. Jonathan, please put in your best while she's doing it, going.
Don't talk with you.
How can I say that?
Oh god damn
it. Winging it. I'm trying to think of another one.
Judgmental posters.
Like
trying to think of another one. Oh, I have no, I can't tell that story.
Oh, I like those ones.
No, I can't. I'll be cancelled. I can't.
Oh, me and Foxy were like, go for it.
No.
Nobody watches this show anyway. It's fine.
No,
We're not just recording this for like YouTube and like potentially millions of people to probably watch it and hear you.
No, do you know what? Do you know what would be so dangerous if we ever did a live stream?
oh Jesus
Talk
Christ!
about getting
I'm working
cancelled.
on that. I'm working on that because
I
do
don't
want
think we
that to
can.
happen.
I don't think I could trust myself doing a live stream.
I can't trust myself doing it right. So
Yeah.
I would actually legit. If we do if we do it.
No, if we
Legit
do, it has to be we're all going down in flames. As in, we all meet up, we all get drunk, and we record the whole thing live, and we fucking go down in a blaze of glory. That's how we do it.
How we wing it at the best.
I'll be honest with you. It is one of those senses. So we're so for those of you who watch Weekend at Amy's, I made an announcement of what we're going to be doing for Halloween. We're doing a lead up for Halloween, right? And we've picked the movies that we're going to do, but we decided we'll do it in one sitting. And we'll spread them out, right? As you do. So instead of doing our normal recording session, we're literally just going to watch 5 movies because I checked it, and there's technically 5 weekends that we have. You have like 4 weekends plus Halloween, which obviously we're going to watch. We're going to release Halloween on Halloween, the original, the 78 version, right?
Yeah.
But it literally was ends of us watching from, like, say 3 o'clock in the afternoon to whatever time it takes us to get through these 5 movies. And we worked out the time of each movie. And I think it comes in around, I think it's 10 hours of movie time.
So you'd be finished about 1 a.m., 2 a.m., thereabouts, whatever.
Around that time, yeah. So I think it's, so movies combined 8 hours and 26 minutes plus intro and outro.
Yeah.
So it's going to work in at around 10 hours, right? And we ran the movies by Kira, because Kira's not a great horror movie person.
Okay.
And she's like, oh, I can deal with blood and guts, but I can't deal with jump scares.
Okay.
One of the movies I've picked is the My Bloody Valentine remake.
Okay. That's a lot of jump scares.
Which is literally, there's an awful lot of jump scares in it. So I'm hoping and praying that Jensen Ackles will be enough just to get her through that movie. Or Keir Smith. Realistically, I'm hoping one or the other is going to be enough to get her through that. I have the DVD somewhere. I just need to try and find it. But like, there's also Scream is thrown in. The Lost Boys is going to be thrown in. I can't remember the other one right now off the top of my head. Scream, The Lost Boys,
Freddy, Jason,
House of Wax.
The new one or the original?
House of Wax. No, the remake one from 2005.
The Paris Hilton
method
one.
To my madness.
Yeah.
Yes, there is method to my madness, right? So what we've done is we have a decent 80s movie, which is The Lost Boys.
Yes.
We have a decent slasher movie, which is Scream.
Yes.
Right? We have a shitty campy remake that has Paris Hilton die, which is House of Wax. We have a decent remake, which is My Bloody Valentine, because if you've seen the original My Bloody Valentine, it's actually not a bad movie. Remake is quite good as well. For a remake, it actually did quite well as well. And then you have obviously the granddaddy of them all, the one that started everything, Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween, the original 1978 version, as I said. So that's how we're going to finish it. So, but realistically speaking, how that recording going to go, you're going to see really happy people watching The Lost Boys, and then 10 hours later you're going to see 4 or 5 half dead people watching Halloween with Kira possibly sleeping in the corner while I've just given up on life, and Foxy thinking we should have ordered more pizza. I'm going to order 2 pizzas that night. I'm actually going to order 2 pizzas.
Yeah.
And eat one cold, I think, at this point, because it's the only
pizzas. There's 2 things that are good cold: the pizza and Chinese.
Oh, pizza and Chinese. But honest to God, those are nights out, like, and shit like that. You know, you just have plans and then everything falls through, and then it ends up just being like a winging it night. Best nights ever.
Oh yeah.
Always the best nights ever.
10 points for winging it.
Right. So, who's our winner?
That is a good question.
Can I take back hosting duties for this? I'm gonna go back. Okay, I'm gonna take back over the hosting duties. We've been wigging it for a while now. Foxy, while your stories were good, Dennis's were better. But this the thing is, I wouldn't be doing hosting 2 weeks in a row anyway on this one. And like Jonathan, I also will continue to talk when I haven't heard my own voice for more than 3 minutes at a time. Hence why I kind of take over.
Yeah.
This is why I was one of the loudest fans. TT, I needed to hear my voice heard. That's what I was going to tell you. Shit, I forgot to tell you that other part. At the same show, so do you remember when Dan Barry came out to his normal theme song, and then Voldemort's mustache came out to Foggy Jew?
Yep.
I lost my shit. So much so that I think it was Macklin. I had the camera and he happened to be doing the entrance. And straight away, he just heard someone absolutely lose their shit, and the camera just turned. And I am on the VOD basically screaming, "How fucking dare you, you piece of shit, you fucking cunt, you fucking bass, you fucking..." Like, I am not holding back at all. And it's a good solid 30 seconds of that.
Did he make you Rama?
My rant, don't even fucking joke. My rant went on for a good solid, I'd say 2 minutes, to the extent where he tried to get into my face over it, to the extent where it took Kira and Ali actually physically gripping my arms before he realized, oh, she's not kidding. She's actually, okay, this girl actually does harm me. And then he went off and he got into the ring, and we were so in sync that me, Ali, and Kira were so in sync that it's probably on the VOD. You can actually see us all in sync, flipping him off every time he got slammed onto our side. And you just see us lean in and scream and then flip him off. I was not having any of it. And then someone had said it, because I hadn't watched the VOD, because very rarely will I watch the show back unless there's been a particular match I really want to look back at, or if there was a promo and it didn't go up on TV, I wanted to watch it back. And someone happened to say, oh, was it? What's his name? Oh my God, Botchamania, what's his name? Matthew happened to be watching back this show, and he was watching, and then it got to the point where I'm losing my shit, and he cut it, posted it to Twitter, and under the caption was, "I thought Irish fans really liked Redacted, not this one." And someone had pointed it out, someone had tagged me, and it been like, "Oh my God, Amy, what the fuck? You're probably going to make it like, oh, you've made it to Botchamania Twitter," sort of thing, and joke about it that way. And I remember commenting back on it and been like, "Don't bring that bullshit over here. He's nothing but a scumbag, and he will be found out eventually." Me knowing absolutely nothing of what was going on in the background, to the extent where I felt so validated in my utter hatred for that one particular person. I was ready to, like, if it hadn't been as serious as it was, if it just maybe been one person sort of situation, I would have literally gone to wrestling fans' houses, knocked on the doors, and went, "I will accept my apology in the form of writing or verbal if I can record it." I would have done that. Had it only been one person and it hadn't been as serious, but still kind of really shitty enough to get cancelled, I would have done that. Because I was like, y'all fucking said that I was being an arsehole. I was not an arsehole.
Speaking of Matthew and winging it, Maxer splitting himself open on his entrance, and Paddy Morrow coming.
And then Paddy with the wet floor sign.
Yeah, that was a brilliant example of winging it.
Brilliant.
And I'll never forget Jordan Devlin sitting behind the desk, breaking himself, fucking dying laughing.
Yeah.
I think so.
As Paddy came out and did it, his hand just came out with the wet floor side, and then just It was so fucking funny.
Anything would be cool when it's involving Joker Bray. That's
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry. Be Cool selling merch in the men's toilet, winging it. That is genius.
Yeah, he legitimately
That
got this.
was genius. All right. We're gonna wrap this one up
Yeah.
here on this, and so I'll go back onto hosting duties, right? Because honest to
official,
God,
get
I actually
official.
wouldn't even give a shit. I wouldn't even care about the point system on this one because honestly, Foxy, once Dennis gave the second-hand embarrassment story of not being able to remember a girl's name, which is technically, I'm nearly sure, the same fucking surname as your own.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to give this win of winging it to Dennis, purely because I think he's learned from that. And do you know what? He has learned, and he's grown as an MC because that one moment really did actually, that one moment of winging it, of being like, do you want to be the MC, has actually led him to being an MC for Ireland's premier wrestling company at
Europe's.
OTT.
Don't push your luck.
I'm gonna say Ireland for now
Don't
because I
push your
don't
luck.
know what other. I don't know what other.
My CV will say Europe's.
There we go. So I'm gonna have to give the win on that one to Dennis.
Yep.
On that one. Do we have any closing statements on this one? Or Dennis, chances if you're not able to join us to host our next recording, it probably won't be me and Foxy. We're going to do like a rota, trying to get Jonathan or maybe Kira on for one of them. But if you have a topic,
I'm sure I'll get in somewhere. I'm sure we'll get in somewhere.
Yeah, think of a topic at least that you want us to do, and we'll happily include it in. And
it's difficult because a lot of my conversations are sex related, so I need to think of not that.
I have that one in my back pocket. I have sex stories in my back pocket for an episode, but because we're only on to episode 2, I thought it would be nice not to whip it out.
You have to ease into that.
Exactly. You can't just ram into it, okay? You need to prepare. You need to prepare for it. Yeah. And you know what? I'll be honest with you guys, spitting on it ain't lube. Okay, you need to prep. Okay. I loved it. This is like, you fucking cunt.
Oh, right. We'll come in here.
That's my signature move.
Thank you very much.
Look, I'm so delighted that everybody is enthralled by my embarrassment. I learned from it, and it's. I'm not going to say it won't happen again because that feels like it'd be famous last words. And with people like Paddy M, etc., wandering around, very well could easily happen that I get fucked up again.
Oh yes, that you work with.
It's actually there's a line from them. I can't believe I'm going to quote this fucking movie, but Armageddon, the opening monologue in Armageddon is Charlton Heston. It happened before. It will happen again.
Yeah. That's the thing.
So in closing, guys, thank you so much for joining us here at Nerds R Us for finally on the record as we wrap up Winging It. I have been your host / contestant, Amy. We were joined as always by our resident referee and Foxy, and of course probably one of the biggest up and coming talents from Waterford, not originally from there, in Cutter. I think you're going to see him next in Limerick. Can you see you in Limerick? Cork? When's your next wrestling show?
Yeah, Limerick. Wait, no.
You'll see him in Limerick. You'll see me in Five Factory.
Yes, Limerick.
Five Factory. So do you know what, wrestling fans, because you're nerds too, go and get the tickets for it. I'm not sure where they've actually been sold. Are they Eventbrite?
Yep.
But yeah, so
Limerick OTT Eventbrite, and I think Five Factory's Eventbrite too. Right? Yeah, so yeah, all
excellent.
Eventbrite.
Check up on Eventbrite and get those tickets. Also, if you like what you see, or if you just want to hear a shit talk a little bit more, hit the subscribe button, like, comment. Actually, and if you can, comment on your best winging it situations, because I love hearing that shit. And
Oh,
we
God,
will
yeah.
see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
And I'll be hosting, so it's going to be a disaster.
Sex stories it is.
Oh, yeah.